Yo, what is up? Welcome back. Listen, Brandon Moore here. More to the game sports show. Thank you guys for tuning in again. I gotta give credit when credit's due, but I want to say thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your views. Keep watching. Please keep watching. Keep sharing. Keep talking about it. All the good stuff. But welcome. Hey, give shout out to Jim Mint 10 Sports for hooking your boy up with his own show. I can't thank them enough. Man, lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. So look, pay attention, pay attention. But most importantly, listen, I got this link tree that's down there. He's down there. One of them. Got this link tree down there. All my email, Twitter, all that good stuff. It's down there, man. Click on it. Message me. Hit your boy up. Hit your boy up. Come talk to me. Talk to me. Give me some feedback. Tell me who to watch out for. Whatever the case may be. Hit your boy up on that link tree. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribe to Jim Mint 10 Sports so you can always know when more to the game is coming on. Okay, when more to the game is coming on. Please hit that up. Hey, but anyway, man, did y'all check the NBA All Star game out? First of all, I was gonna literally go into depth and talk about this. No, man, it was terrible. Listen, I get it. I get it, man. It's weird, man. Because when I was growing up, now I'm an '80s baby, right? I'm an '80s baby. So when I was growing up in the '90s, and the All Star games was in the '90s, man, it was about a few things. It was about a few things. It was about who's gonna get MVP, the brand new shoes that were coming out, right? By all those stars that had their own shoes. Literally, it was the dunk contest, the 3-point contest. I mean, and the All Star game was literally it was a game. You know what I'm saying? It was a game, but it was like, yeah, it was fun, all that type of stuff. But man, it was a game. I mean, these dudes were out there. They were playing, right? They were playing now. They like today's All Star games where they play that Olay defense and going by and score and dunk and all that type of stuff. Don't get me wrong. We want to see that stuff. We want to see scoring, but I want to see a little competition though. I mean, you're paying big money if you're going. You're paying big money to go and see your stars, man. And then these dudes is like out there playing by themselves, right? So it's like, but me, I thought it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There's no pride. There's no gumption. There's nothing to the All Star game now. It's just like, man, you just show up. You show up, and all right, I'm gonna decide to play. And then it's like all these formats that they're coming up with. Man, listen, I miss when the All Star game, the West had their jerseys, the East had their jerseys, and even the time period where in the you wear your individual jerseys or whatever. That was pretty cool. But it was always cool when you got to see the shoes, right? When you got to see the brand new shoes by each player that were coming out. They always debuted them on All Star, right? And then it's like you got to see the cool storylines of first time All Star or whatever the case may be, who's gonna get MVP or whatever the case may be. But man, it ain't even like that now. It's like who pays attention to that stuff? Who cares? Who cares, man? That's what was terrible. And it's like, when Kobe Bryant did a dunk contest, Vince Carter did a dunk contest, Tracy McGrady dunk contest. By far, I would probably say arguably the best dunk contest was probably in year 2000 when Kenny Smith emphatically was like, "Let's go home, let's go home," and Vince Carter just tore it up. Right? That was when the All Star game was in the '90s, early 2000s was in. This new age generation it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, just so disappointed in it. Just so disappointed. However, hopefully they make some changes to make it a little bit more competitive, or something. Put something in it, man. I mean, listen, I would rather see the G League, the G League All Stars, and have them compete against these All Stars. I mean, like really compete, man. I mean, you know how to play without overdoing it. You know how to play and like, "All right, I'm not gonna foul this guy," whatever the case may be. But man, it was just, I go back to the '90s. I go early 2000s, man, where the All Star game it meant something. It meant something. I mean, now it's just and then this whole mess. Now, look, I know a lot of people like LeBron, but man, he could have gave his spot up for somebody else. Like I mean, think about that, man. I mean, I get it. You work hard to be an all-star. You want that clout, you want that attention, you want everything that comes with it. But man, right before a tip to say you're not gonna play, you knew you weren't gonna play. That's just my thoughts on it. Listen, tell me what you think about the All Star stuff. I don't know. I went on my little tangent about the All Star, how terrible it was this year. But now, mind you, I worked it last year. And I worked it last year. Mainly, I worked it for all the concerts. All the concerts, had a great time. I mean, had an awesome time. Got to see some of the festivities, but I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. But listen, so if you pay attention, previous shows we talked about Region Six. Started kind of not hyping on Region Six, but really talking about Region Six, right? And I got to see PRP versus Butler play. Whew, wow. Yeah, it was that type of game. Wow. Listen, the Kentucky rankings or the pairings for state, the Sweet 16 already come out. If you pay attention to my Twitter, you see Region 6 and Region 7 play. And let me tell you something. It's I don't foresee this as being an easy victory for Region 7. Both teams, PRP and Butler, Region 6 is going through them. Hands down, I don't care who you are. Region 6 is going through PRP or Butler. The region championship could be those two. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. What a game it was. I mean, both teams play defense. I mean, they play hardcore defense. Uh, and Butler really doesn't have the size that PRP had. But I'm gonna tell you, when PRP was going inside, they were unstoppable. Unstoppable. Butler had no answer. However, Butler pressured the ball so well that it was hard for them guys to make them good passes in there. And they were quick, man. I mean, they were coming from the backside help. I mean, it was impressive to see. Both teams were well prepared. Both teams are very, very good. And I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how they finish up this month of February going into going into your district play, your region play, all that type stuff. I mean, whew, any given day, literally is what it's come down to, man. But and shout out to Coach Walter Hickman. He's one of their assistant coaches, and we actually got a date set for Saturday. He's going to be a guest on the show. But shout out because I kind of sent him some questions a while ago, and man, his assessment was right, man. They got a kid number 24, little shooter. Man, every time he touched the ball and shot it, it looked like it was good. Every single every single shot, every single shot. I mean, they got some athletes too. They got some athletes played above the rim. But I'm gonna tell you, man, the highlight, and you'll see it on some highlights. Man, end of the first half, PRP caught a body. I mean, he posterized big guy from PRP posterized this guy at the buzzer. I mean, that's just the excitement that was there at that PRP Butler game, man. And I'm sitting up there, and I got my little girls with me. We sitting up there, man. We having a good old time, and I'm just sitting up there like, oh my gosh. I mean, this is reminded me of it had that Region Seven, Region. I mean, it was just, and I say Region Seven because when I played in Region Seven. And I mean, every game in Region Seven was I mean, it was a dogfight, and I mean that's what this reminded me of. And I mean, I'm gonna tell you, PRP and Butler are scary. They would be my dark horse. They would be my dark horse to shake up the Sweet 16. I'm gonna say that they'd be my dark horse shake ups, just to shake it up, just to shake it up. I mean, they have guard play. They're athletic. Play defense. They're scrappy, and this is both teams. PRP has size. PRP has size. However, they don't really do enough with the size, in my opinion. I think they could have went inside a little bit more, but I mean, and PRP has a really good guard. Nico is really good guard. He was kind of off that night when I went to go see him, but I mean, PRP. But I mean, like I said, I was highly impressed. Shout out to PRP. Shout out to Butler. Listen, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a great game, great game. And I mean, that leads me into this. So check this out. Check this out. So the top 25 of Kentucky basketball has come out, right? Top 25, and I'm gonna read it to you. Obviously, I've been talking about this one team. I've been talking about Saint X all year. They have held the number one spot all year, and I've said two schools that could potentially beat them and compete with them, even though they've already beat one of them. But and and check this out. The Saint X is one. Great Crossing. I've mentioned them. Number two, Frederick Douglass. Number three. So those two schools, Frederick Douglass and Great Crossing, are the schools that I did say earlier could beat Saint X. Now then check this out. We're gonna jump second. Number eight is Manual, who's a sleeper. Manual is a sleeper, man. They got great coaching over there. They're a solid team. They got experience. They're a sleeper. Number 11 is Butler. Think about that. Number 14, PRP. Number 17, Mayo High School. And number 22 is Ballard. Again, Region 6 and Region 7. Those are the only schools in the top 25. Think about that. All the other counties, yes, they're representing their schools in the top 25. But think about this. For the city of Louisville, Region 6 and Region 7, they have, let's see, one, two, three, four, five. They got six teams in the top 25. So come on, man. That's highly competitive. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be a dogfight to finish out. And I can't wait to see them try to get out to some games over the next couple weeks. It is going to be fun. And wow. I can't believe it. Wow. But anyway, listen, moving on to this. So I gotta give a shout out. One of my former players I used to coach in football. Him and my son. Actually, it's funny. Found out him and my son went to the same kindergarten prior to us moving around a lot. Ethan Roseman. South Bend St. Joseph. 1,000 points. Congratulations. Congratulations. Shout out. Round of applause for Ethan Roseman. Hey, this kid, let me tell you something. This kid probably special kid, man. If you don't know him, you got to get to know him, man. His story, his pop's story, his pop's a good friend of mine. Shout out Kenny Roseman. We coached together, and tragedy and sadness can help form new relationships that you never knew were there, never knew existed, and that's what happened. But the Roseman family, AJ Roseman, who's up at, I believe is at Holy Cross up there at South Bend, um, up there, man, doing your thing. Ethan Roseman, man, continue to shine, brother. Continue to shine, man. We were watching from afar. Congratulations on 1,000 points. I know there's other people that scored 1,000 points that I've seen. Um, 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 Jeremiah from Saint X. Jeremiah from Saint X. Hey, great job on your 1,000 point score, man. Listen, I know a lot of people. I'm not gonna say a lot, but a lot of people get it. A lot of people don't get it. But that is a that is a feat that most people don't see, but a lot of people see. And congratulations to them, man. For real, congratulations to them, man. I am extremely excited for that. Jeremiah Jackson and Ethan Roseman on your 1,000 points. Jeremiah Jackson from Saint X, Ethan Roseman, South Bend, St. Joseph. Man, great job on that. Continue to keep it up. Now I got a question. Just let's ponder on this for a second here. When you're talking to your child, if your child's playing a sport, right? I'm not going to say basketball, just say just a sport. And you're talking about, getting better and all that type of stuff. You're talking about getting recruited and all that stuff. Is Division 1 the go? Think about that now. Is Division 1 the go? Does it even matter now? Does it even matter? And here's the basis for that. This is the basis for that. A good friend of mine, fellow coach, AAU coach of mine, used to be before he jumped ship on me. Uh, man, Ladarius Mathis, man, shout out to my guy Ladarius, man. Um, so he kind of poses this question. We got a group chat, and he kind of posed this question. I was like, man, I was thinking about the same thing. Like, I'm going to talk about that today. And I started thinking about it, and you kind of have to think about it. It's like, doesn't even matter anymore, right? Playing time is not guaranteed when you're a freshman, when you're going into any school, let alone right any school, any division, but let alone Division 1, let alone Division 1. So it used to be a huge deal, and I'm not saying that it's not, but it used to be a this is it and that's it, right? It used to be. Things change, because I think now the availability, and I'm gonna post this stuff on Twitter, right? I'm gonna post. I got some things I'm gonna post on Twitter, right? It talks about Division 1 versus NAIA and NAIA versus JUCO, Division 1 versus JUCO, whatever the case may be, right? And when you read them, and so check out my Twitter on this. When you read them, it talks about the differences on them, and if that stands out to you, let me know. Like, does it even matter anymore, right? Because nowadays it's like players that are going Division 2, even JUCO. As my good friend Ladarius said, man, they're transferring up and they're playing extremely well, and they're going into a Division 1 system and they are playing immediately. So versus some kids, if you're not a top Cooper Flag or whatever, if you're not a top, sometimes you don't see that playing time. So now you're in a situation where, yeah, I was recruited to Division 1. I get there. I'm not really playing a lot. They're, looking at me towards my sophomore, junior year. But man, there's this kid that's playing Division 2. He's already played an entire year, and he went down there and he started, and now he's transferring to my school. Now that's going to push me back further. So again, I ask you, is Division 1 the end all be all? It doesn't even matter. Let me know your thoughts on that. But hey, good question on that one, man. Good question. It's like, doesn't even matter. Like, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like when I talk, my oldest daughter, she's playing lacrosse, and we talk about getting recruited, and she wants to. She tells me she wants to go to an HBCU, which means that 9 times out of 10, if you're playing lacrosse and field hockey, you're probably gonna have to give that up and not play it, because most HBCUs, if not all HBCUs, do not have those type of sports, right? However, we talk about, hey, but also you get recruited to Division 1. I've said it, Division 1, Division 2. Yes, possibly PWI will have those sports. So now you're going and you're playing for free, you get a free education, all that type of stuff, right? So your PWI, HBCU, that's a whole different, whole other conversation that we will be talking about. But now you're talking like, but now it's like ultimately I'm like, hey, just get better. Just get better every single day. If you're good, they're gonna find you and they're gonna recruit you. Right? I tell my son that you have to do the things necessary on a consistent basis to be seen, right? It shouldn't be a big deal that you're going to the gym. You should be going to the gym anyway, right? Again, I'm old school. I grew up old school, right? You want to get better, you better take your ass to the gym. If not, you're just gonna stay stagnant, and everybody else behind you is gonna catch up. But anyway, that's not here nor there. But again, when we talk about recruitment, you kind of know as soon as you get to high school, man, this dude ain't Division 1, because you see what we anticipate, or what we think, assume the level of talent is going Division 1, right? Because I remember, and maybe it's a culture thing. Maybe it's a culture thing. I don't know, but Division 1 to me at my level, or when I was playing, it wasn't always on the schedule. It wasn't always on the forefront. For me, the forefront was, hey, just get healthy. Just get healthy, play well, play hard. Somebody's going to see you. You get opportunity to play. You make the you make the most of it. Others, it's like, hey, Division 1 is Division 1 or bust. right? But then they get there, then they're still in that situation. It's like, yeah, you got to the Division 1, but now you're not playing. So, and what reasons are you not playing? So now, do you consider, okay, I got to go Division 2 now, and then try to go back, or should I went Division 2, or whatever, and then moved up? I don't know, man. It's interesting. It can go either way. It can go either way. But Ladarius, great question, man. Great question, right? And D1 coaches. Ladarius wanted me to let everybody know he can't stand the arrogance of Division 1 coaches. It's arrogance and slash confidence, right? It's like that thin line. It's like that thin line, man. Like, here's the funny thing. I remember this season, um, UConn's coach, Hurley. They had him mic'd up talking to a ref. Was like, "Do you know who I am? I'm the best effing coach in college." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're losing." That's where the arrogance gets you in trouble, right? But I'm not. I love UConn. UConn is a good school. Very, 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 very good school. Obviously, I'm L1C4, baby, all the way. Louisville, all the way. Shout out to Louisville, top 25, by the way. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. And right now, the theory is American basketball is at its worst, right? And I mean, if you look at it, you take a kid from that's been playing overseas, that's just playing in Europe or other countries, and he comes over, he's probably a little bit more advanced. And I don't even know if it's advanced or if it's maturity. What do you think? Advance or maturity? Comment on my Twitter, man. Let me know what you think. Advance or maturity? I'm gonna post it right now for you, just so y'all can understand. I'm serious about it. So, it's it you know is it that European players are more advanced or more mature? Which one? Which one? Hey, I posted it. Hey, it's on my Twitter right now. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Hey, so here's the funny thing. So check this out. Why is American basketball at its lowest, at its worst? NCAA? Is it NCAA? Is it NIL? Is it coaches? Is it reclassing? Is it entitlement? Why, right? Why, right? All that stuff probably adds into the salable effect of how it's kind of draining American basketball, and why we're not focusing on what we need to be focusing on, which is fundamentals, good sportsmanship, development, all the core things, right? All the core things that were once right, but now become an anomaly because of everything else. And you got those reasons on why versus coaches like Jay Wright, Jim Larinaga, Roy Williams, Jim Boeheim. These are the coaches that got out, right? These are the coaches that got out. I mean, you got to think about that, man. And these coaches probably had a few more years left. I know Jay Wright did. Jim Larinaga was just in the Elite Eight or Final Four a couple years ago. Roy Williams, yeah, it's been a long, long time, but it's like, why? Jim Boeheim, come on now. Like, you know, what did they see? What was their struggle? Like, what was the change versus coaches Rick Pitino, Bill Self, Tom Izzo? One thing I've noticed about those coaches is those coaches have a no nonsense policy, and sometimes the schools that they're at believe in that. So therefore, that type of attitude, that type of substance, they support. They support. And these are legendary coaches too. So think about that, man. Why is American basketball at its worst? Is it at its worst, or is it just everybody's catching up? I don't know, man. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, man. I told you, man, we had a lot to cover. We had a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover, man. But listen, I don't have a spotlight, but why I said that my spotlight for everybody is a word that is faith. It's faith, right? You know, we're all, we're all in situations in life that sometimes feel overwhelming, and they feel overwhelming, and sometimes you just don't know what to do, right? You feel like walls are closing in, all that good stuff. But, God, my God, the one I believe in, doesn't put anything on you that you can't bear. We have to continue to believe that going into our everyday life or weekly life and all that type stuff. So hey, that's more to the game spotlight, man. Keep the faith. Hey, and always remember, there's more to the game. Peace.